This is Brian Buckaloo from ProVizion Studios. It's been several years since I have done a studio showcase where I show you my gear, how I operate, what I like to use, and this may help give you some pointers into what I'm able to do, and conversely, what you would be able to do if you had similar gear. The last one I did was very successful in regards to I still get messages on YouTube today with people asking me questions about some of the products that I was using at that time, even though I don't have the gear or the interface that I was using on that other video. Um, I was able to answer and still am able to answer some of the questions that pertain to the interface that I had and the programs that I'm working in, but much has changed in that time. So today, basically, I just would like to show you what I'm using, why I use it, and how I use it. And hopefully that'll give some of you guys an understanding of what I'm doing here, what I'm capable of doing, and again, what you'd be able to do if you had similar gear or if you were possibly looking to buy gear, what you might want to look at getting. Um, First off, in that video that I did a couple years ago, I was working in Windows 7, and we were using Pro Tools 10, and I just started with Pro Tools 10. I was working in Pro Tools 9 prior to it, and I was using I think my interface was the Project Mix IO by M Audio, and I had that for a little while, and then I upgraded to the Digi 003 from DigiDesign. Still working in Pro Tools 10. Not long after that, I upgraded to Pro Tools 11 and started seeing limitations with the Digi 003. I then went uh, to a Euphonics uh, control surface, and we're using the Yukon control with Pro Tools. Um, that really wasn't scratching the itch yet. And then I went to Full Sail University in 2011 through 2013 and graduated with a music production degree. Um, and while I was there, I learned a lot about professionalism, taking your stuff to the next level, and really finishing more than anything else. I learned how to finish what I started at Full Sail. One of the things I picked up on there was a piece of equipment called the Raven MTI. I'm going to show that to you today. That is a touch control surface that has replaced everything else that I've used. I basically mix on it, I record on it. It does not have any audio uh, that it puts, any audio coloration that it puts into your studio sessions. It is just a mix surface that it's a 27-inch monitor that you use um, with your fingers. You touch up to 6 different points, and it runs in Mac OS 10. It is not yet equipped to run in Windows, but I have since left Windows since I got the Raven, and am now using uh, Apple computers exclusively. In fact, I just bought a brand new iMac 27-inch that I am using for my edit window when I do sessions, and I use the Raven as my primary display for the mix window. All right. Enough of that. I'm going to get into my outboard gear, go from my outboard gear and showing you the Raven and the iMac, and hopefully that'll give you guys an idea of what I'm doing again and how I do it. Okay. All right, the first bit of gear I want to focus on is the effects project channel. It is my newest piece of gear other than the iMac. It is a channel strip by Effects that includes their famous Big Bottom and Oral Exciter. Those are both separate devices or interfaces by Effects that you could buy separately. This channel strip has them both included. They can be turned on and off right here, or with here by the amount. If you don't want the big bottom, you can just roll it off and it turns it off. You can just use the oral exciter. They both can't be off. I mean, you can't have this off and then use one. This is the power for both of those effects. You start in, it has XLR on the back. It has instrument cable in the front. Here's your input. You got phantom power here, a 20 decibel cut. You've got your phase here if you need to invert the phase on your input. You've got a 70 hertz high pass shelf. Here is your optical compressor, which is anywhere from 2-to-1 to 6-to-1. And you can adjust that right there. And then here's your gain control right there, so you know how much you are attenuating your signal going in. This is your master output. Next, we have my Rain EQs. They're a stereo pair. These are the PE 15s. These are really nice. I'm going to go left to right. You have your shelf right here. This affects 20 hertz to 300 hertz. Here's your frequency selector, so you can see you can go from 20 to 300. Make sure we can see that. You can go from 20 to 300 by turning right here. And then this here is your bypass. That bypasses this block right here. And then here you've got 60-to-1, 150 hertz to 2.5 kilohertz. We've got 450 to 8 kilohertz, and then 1 to 20 kilohertz. And again, you can bypass each one of these bands that you select separately. There is your output, master out, and then also a master bypass, which is nice. And I have, again, I have them in stereo pair. So if I want to run a double mic cabinet, a guitar cabinet, I can run an SM57 and maybe a condenser as a stereo pair into my my main interface. Next, we will look at the Avid 11 rack. This is what I use the most when I have guitar players come in. If they are not miking their cabinet, we are using the 11 rack. And this is, you can look at these up on the internet. That's they're very popular. You can change your settings right here with the scroll knob. It's got plenty of presets. You can also modify any of your own, any of the presets to make your own. You can also, the cool part that I like to do, like you'll see this one, it's called Metallica. I downloaded that off of the 11 rack website, where there are other users have created their own sounds, and I found a couple that I liked and downloaded them. And you're able to make up your own, or through the community download others. This is the main input section. You can see right here, you've got guitar input. Then you got it out to an amp or your headphones. So there's a lot of guys nowadays that are actually using the 11 rack as their amp head. So you can literally take this and run it to a cabinet. You also have the let me zoom back in on that. You have the mic input here, or XLR input. So you can go out of the cabinet into here and then reamp something. You've got your phantom power right here. It's off. You've got a pad right there. And then here's your gain. It goes out into your interface. Which brings me to my interface. I use the Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40. I absolutely love this thing. It gives you 8 channels of digital in. You have 2 on the front that can be instrument through the XLR input. You can also use a 1/4-inch TRS, or the XLR can be used as well with phantom power if you need it right here. You see phantom power for 1 through 4 or 5 through 12. I'm sorry, 5 through 8, 12. Yeah. So you got 1 through 4 and 5 through 8 in the XLR are on the back 3 through 8. You can see right here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is your monitor out, which has a dim and a mute. Then you have your 2 headphones, so you can run 2 headphone out. I have a main headphone that I run out here, and then I feed this to my headphone amp. But this is my main interface. This goes directly into my computer. I'll show you the headphone amp next. It's an old one, and I gotta it needs to be replaced, but it still works. It's an old Behringer Power Play Pro, and it gives you 4 separate headphone amps. Basically, you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're in blocks. And then you get an extra 3 outputs on the back, so you can have up to 12 headphones out of this one unit, which that's the reason I bought it. Is it's more than enough than I would ever need. So this is a really good unit. I just need to get a new one because it's so old. I bought it used, and I've used it extensively over the years, and it's about had it. Next is the PreSonus Digimax D8. This is what I use for microphones when I have to mic up a drum kit. On the ground, I have a little brother Subsnake, which has 8 inputs. The snake runs into then my Digimax. So I've got 8 channels of digital in that then runs through light pipe, which you can get these anywhere. Simple Toslink light pipe cable. That runs from the Digimax into my Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40. So I have 16 channels of digital inputs that go into my iMac. the light pipe is a single cable that adds 8 more channels to the Pro 40 that I already have 8 of. So that's I got 8. I get 8. I get 8 off of here, and then you add another 8 here. So it gives me up to 16 microphones that I can run on any session at once. Again, I primarily use that. Let me say this: I've only used that for when I have drummers come in. Other than that, if I get a guitar player or guitar players, I either if I'm making a cabinet, I go in directly into the Pro 40, or if they would like to use the 11 rack, I go into the 11 rack direct then into the Focusrite Pro 40. For vocals, I primarily use the effects. Project channel. I've used that with good success on vocals. I use the Rain EQs when I mic up a cabinet. So if I get a guitar player that comes in and he wants to just use his amp, I'll use this to try to match the tone that he's hearing in his head that he wants out of his amp. Most of the time when I mic up a cabinet, I can't get the exact sound that the guitar player may want because of my room, the combination of my room and the microphones. So these EQs help me dial in the sound that the guitar player's wanting a little easier. All right, so again, like I said, it's touch. It's all touch control. So you've actually got your mix window here. Again, I move the edit window up to the top. I don't use the iMac more than just a display for my edit window. Now that's not to say that I wouldn't want to use that for touch as well. And if that does occur where I need to do some touch editing on my edit window, I will move it down to the Raven simply by just pulling it down and then doing it there. But the touch surface is pretty cool. It is something that I have really taken to. I've gone all in on it. Like I said, I've gone completely Mac. I was a Windows guy. The Project Mix IO was my first venture into using control surfaces where you had faders, moving faders, motorized faders. Then from there I went to the Digi 003. And then I used the Euphonics mix control, and I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to. I never wanted to go back to using just a mouse. Okay, when I saw the Raven, I was like, you know what? That's sort of like the best of both worlds. It's where the technology's going. I don't have to worry about a piece of gear breaking. I don't have to worry about drivers not working. I'm plugging the interface every time I open and close the program. The Raven has not let me down yet. I also use it with. You can use it to run anything. You can check your emails with it. It's not just for mixing. I mean, you can do anything. I mean, you can do photo editing in it in Photoshop. I've actually done that before. I'm a graphic designer during the day. I run the studio at night, but you can actually use it to do artwork and stuff inside of Photoshop and Illustrator, and even in design. If you want to manipulate things in a layout, you can do it with touch that way. I also use it with Logic Pro, which is an excellent DAW. I love Logic, and I also just purchased Persona Studio One 3, their newest version, and I just got that the other day, so I'm learning with that. I actually like using that to master in, but either way, it's really cool with the touch. It comes with the Raven software that works as an overlay over Pro Tools. And basically, what it does is it takes control of your fader section here. It assumes all the bottom level here. So now I've got, like, I can move faders around, and you can mix like that, and it's really cool because again, it's new technology and it's going to be around for a while. You can, if you want to solo a couple tracks, you can hit the button and you can just go straight across. All right, I want to solo all those tracks, and if you want to take the solo off, you just go back and do it again. Now the solos have been removed. You can do your pans all through touch like that. It's really cool. The uh, the Raven has really helped speed up my mixing. It has helped speed up my recording. It has really become a major asset to ProVizion Studios. Again, not to take anything away from any of the other methods that I have used in the past or anyone else has used or is currently using, but this is definitely the direction I was seeing myself go with the technology, and I'm just glad that I was able to go to Full Sail and then see these things being implemented there. Um, Again, it's not so much that the Slate Raven helps my mixes sound better, because it puts no audio properties into your mix. But what it does do, it allows me to focus more on the music and less on, like I was saying, a driver not working, or a cable that was disconnected, or having to worry about a program I want to work in that wasn't made to work with a certain interface or anything like that. The Raven lets me come out into the studio, turn on my power, open up Pro Tools or Logic or Studio One or whatever DAW I want to work in, and start mixing. It really has helped make the time I spend in the studio more productive. That's really pretty much all I wanted to show today. Again, it's been a couple of years since I've done uh, uh, a studio focus or showcase, whatever you want to call it. And my studio has completely changed since then. I mean, I do have some of the same gear, but most of that stuff that I had is no longer around, and I'm hoping that maybe this will help fuel some questions onto some of the things that I am using more of, and I can be more helpful. Again, not that I don't want to help people on some of the older videos I made, but I'm more knowledgeable on this stuff because I'm working in it every day, and if people that watch my videos are using some of the devices and the interfaces they see here in my studio, and or if they have questions about what something does and why I use it, I'm more able to help them now based upon this video and the content of the video than something that I did 4 or 5 years ago. So I hope this gives you guys an idea of what I'm doing and what I'm capable of doing. And if you have any questions at all, you please call me at 850-352-1194. That's my studio line, and you can call me anytime after 6 p.m. Central in America. You can also email me, Brian Buckaloo at yahoo.com, and that's BrianBuckalew at yahoo.com, or you can go to my website, ProVisionStudios.com, and that's ProVisionStudios.com. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day.